Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. And I just want to say a very big thank you to all who have been watching my stories and also those who have subscribed to join the video family. And I'm hoping that you're really enjoying the stories that have been recorded on this particular channel, bringing to you young people who have got amazing stories on how they're impacting their communities at personal level, at communal level, in small way, in bigger way. And I'm so happy. And please do share this video, share the rest of the videos, so that more young people could learn in the process. And today it's another exciting day, and I'm joined with a very beautiful young Rwandan lady who is so sophisticated and does a lot of amazing things. So yeah, how are you, Elaine?
I'm so fine.
You're so fine. You can tell that. Yeah, so maybe for our viewers to get to know who you are, who are you and what do you do?
Okay, my name is Ipeace. I'm an artist, and being an artist means I do a lot of things, from poetry to writing codes. And on a professional view, I am learning an online pharmacy where we deliver both healthcare products, personal care products to people who need them at their doorsteps. We just want to make sure that everyone can access what they want near them without wasting time and more money. So, and also I'm a fresh graduate from university. So,
which university is that?
Southern New Hampshire University.
And in the US?
Yeah, it's in the US, but it's under Kepler program in Rwanda.
Okay. Wow, nice. Yeah. So it's very interesting to learn about your work and the digital space. You're delivering, healthcare products to the people who need them in Kigali. But also, you are an artist, and that is where I'm more interested in.
Yeah, it's so much interesting to be an artist.
And I think one thing you need maybe I could start by asking, tell us more about your artistry.
Well, I identify myself as an artist because I'm not particular a poet or an author or a fashion model. I just combine them. I do poetry. I have a YouTube channel, so I deliver the poems there. I also write what is called Daily Healing Voice, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people have known me by that because it's been 2 years. Thank you. It's been 2 years since I wrote them, so they are particularly the course that aims at motivating, inspiring, and healing people. And also, I like photography, but not as a photographer, but as a person whose pictures are too. So some ask me, are you a model or something? I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't have an agency, but I just do it. And in past days, I've been doing some digital branding where I can serve as a model for some stores to advertise their products. But I'm just trying a lot of things. To see what's really there.
But particularly, I'm more interested in your work and you creating content. And specifically on the daily healing voices, because that is also how I got a lot of recommendations to have you hosted here, because that what you do by writing those motivational and inspirational quotes really inspires some people out here. But especially now, having a background of Rwanda, having that historic sort of story to tell the world, what motivates you to do this?
I'll say passion, because when I graduated from high school in 2018, and I really had a hard time in my advanced level in secondary. I had a lot of mental health issues back then, because I was starting to figure out what I really needed in life. It was so much to know who I am, what the society wants me to be, how I can relate to both. I don't know, it was so much. So I had to deal with some sort of very
Mental health issues.
like depression, like some
That
anxiety.
maybe you also just didn't understand what they were.
It was so much in a very short time, so I didn't have that time to feel what was happening, understand it. It was chaotic. So when I finished my high school, I was like, I know most people out there are feeling what I felt, like, but I've been there. Maybe I'm going to do something that is going to heal me, heal you, and heal the world, because actually that's my motto of Daily Healing Voices: heal me, heal you, heal the world. So what I basically do, I learn from my experience and some friends or movies, something that can give me an inspiration on a certain experience, and I based on that to write something that can help someone in that situation. So that's how I started in 2020 January. The 1st January I started with writing one quote per day, but around mid-April 2020 I started writing 3 quotes per day, in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. So the logic was simple. It was like, if I'm trying to heal me, heal you, and heal the world, a person needs to be healed every single moment. Like they need to be, they need to be reminded who they are, who they can be, with that so much potential that lies within us, that power that have to be exploited and known, and someone have to believe in you so that you know and you believe that you can do a lot of things. So I said I have to do this every single moment, every single morning, every single afternoon, every single evening, that a person who is feeling discouraged, not motivated, sad, maybe they can get something and get some courage and efforts to do something they really want.
That's very true.
So,
and that is what really the world needs. People need a lot of people need somebody who can just remind them about who they are.
Yeah, we all need that.
Yeah, the potential they have, and how much of a future that is there for them. A lot is up there for them, and they just need to go grab it all and be themselves.
Yeah.
And I think that's really inspirational. Honestly, it is, because would you really refer yourself as a motivational speaker?
Well, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I would, but it's more than that, actually.
Yeah, it's more than that.
Because I believe that when someone say you are a motivational speaker, it's more of I just tell to people than I tell to myself.
To yourself.
And to be honest, most of the quotes are direct to me. I write for me. I'm like, if I'm going through this, I'm pretty sure there's some other people out there who are going through the same thing that I'm going through.
Yeah.
So if I tell me, I tell them. And if they're healed, they're going to heal another one. Because let me give you a fact. When you are happy, happiness is contagious. Smile is contagious. When you feel good about yourself, when you're not an egoist person, when you feel good about yourself, you have an urge to make someone else feel good. So I'm like, if I hear someone and they feel good about themselves, they're going to do their work well, and they're going to bring a positive air in the environment they are, and that is going to help that place to have to be welcoming, to be approachable, to be happy, and that is going to help someone else. So I'm like, if I'm telling me and telling you at the same time, if everyone was healed, then they would heal another person, and the world would be better place. I love that song of Michael Jackson, that it is like heal the world. I love it. Most of the time when I'm feeling down, I just hear to that song, because it reminds me of the purpose, my purpose of being here, heal the world. Because man, a lot of things are going on, like COVID stuff and a lot of negatives. So people need something that cheers them up, something that reminds them who they are, something that gives them some hope to hold on a little bit longer. And then at the end of the day, if we hold on and believe that something is going to happen, then we have a reason to live, and maybe something good can happen out of life. That's my way of thinking.
Healing is something that is very, very important in
so important
life. And there are a lot of people out here who are traumatized out of so many issues. COVID has now brought in a lot of issues, and it has, there's a lot of challenges and effects that COVID has brought along with it. And especially speaking on mental health, there's that bit of seeking psychosocial therapy, but also for one to heal. Why do you think healing is important in this era?
I think, okay, I'm going to answer that in two perspectives. First, in a perspective of Rwandans, like in our generation, Rwanda has a past of genocide against Tutsi in 1994. So most of generation that is like that's rising today have that transgenerational trauma. So you find yourself having some issues you like there is this praise where it's coming from. We have this praise in us that requires to have someone that we entrust to talk to, or someone to hear us out, someone to, I don't know, there is this thing that we really need because of the past and whatever. So on a Rwandan perspective, I think people need to heal because people have issues. Like we are like we have this trauma. Like it's not on the same level. I don't believe everyone have the same
level of trauma. It's
but there is some bit. And also on the world perspective, I'm happy that I started healing ways in 2020. I didn't know that COVID was coming. It was like I felt it was the time to pay to feel like I'm playing a part in community of maybe influencing me and other people. So on the world perspective, so much has been going on. Like today's society have become like one family. One big family. So if I don't have a problem, your friend has it, and at the end of the day, it's going we all have something. Like we all have someone who needs our attention to express themselves, to say what's going on in their lives. So if you're not healed, you are going to be impacted by that thing. That's when someone comes and tell you a story, and instead of helping them, you react negatively because you be like, you don't know what I'm going through. You are crying over maybe a boyfriend breakup, but for me, I lost a family member. So it's like everyone wants someone who can heal them out. So if we don't heal, then we're going to bleed on we're going to transfer the trauma to another person generation, or bleed on someone who didn't cause that pain. Like you react or you become this person who don't believe in good things because you be like, man, I was so broken and nobody cares. So for that to be mitigated, there needs a need for someone to take an action of being good, like healing themselves daily, because healing is a journey, and you can't say I've reached there. It's something at the end of the day, something is going to trigger you, and you feel you feel a lot of things at the moment, but when you remember that it's not you only, and it's okay to feel that way, and it's going to be it can change
long time,
and you can do it. Like you can really go through that time with people who love you around you, and you can figure the way out on how to deal with different situations. Then we have a reason to live. So that's why I felt that there is still a need of people to heal, a need of people to accept that what they're going through is not a final destination. Like there is sun after all, like the sun is going to shine, and maybe you're not going to get back what you lost, but you're going to get you, and you are going to grow you. You're going to run. Like I believe that what doesn't kill you make you stronger. I totally believe that, because when you've gone through something and you hold on, no matter how hard it was, at the end of the day, when you look yourself, you'll be like, I'm proud of you. And when you see someone else going through the same thing, you'll be, I've been there. Come on, you're going to make it. And that gives a hope. And when there is hope, there is courage. When someone is hopeful, they have courage to even think of ways to get themselves out of that situation when it's bad. So that's my philosophy on that.
Powerful. I think again, most people would really be inspired by just you writing those daily healing voices, but also just listening to you, knowing that you are not an exception. You've been there.
Yeah, I've been there, and I still go there.
As a woman, you've been there.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned about the triggers. There are things that happens in our lives, and especially here in Rwanda now, for young people like yourself, there are those triggers, things that happen, and then they kind of remind you of the things that happened in the past. How then would you tell someone who is probably going through some difficult situation right now, and continually or consistently they see things that really trigger them and remind them of the past, and they're at the verge of probably giving up?
Well, that's a hard question, but yeah, but what I can say is that sometimes a person writes to me like, I don't believe in the quotes. Like, he say it's going to be all right, but I've been believing that for a so long time, and it haven't been all right. And I'm like, what kept you, like, what helped you to push through those hard times? Though it's not getting better, but what helped you to go through them? And they're like, I don't know, maybe friends or whatever. I'm like, if you're going through a hard time and it's happening all over again, find something that gives you hope. To be honest, I don't know what the future holds. It might even be worse than this. But when I'm hopeful, I lose nothing. I'm like, God, for me, I'm a Christian. Like, I'm like, if I was born and lived till this day, that's not an end of story. Like, God didn't bring me this far for only bringing me this far. There is a purpose that I have to serve in my time to live here. So that's what I call hope, a purpose. I'm like, no matter what I go through, I know I strongly believe, I choose to believe that at the end of it there will be something good out
life
of it.
At the end of time.
Yeah, I'm like, whatever comes on my way, I'll keep the hope. Actually, it's called hope because you don't have a reason to hope. If you had a reason, it will be something. It's actually faith. Like, you don't have a reason to believe that it's going to be all right. But I have a reason to believe that as long as I'm alive, I'm going to put there my fight, and if I survive that, I will survive anything. I'm not a fan of people who tell someone like, you're going to be alright every time. I'm like, if it looks impossible to you that you're going to be alright, or if it's taking forever, at least believe that every single moment you're going to put up a fight to fight for your life.
Sort of you believing that you will tell someone, this life is for you to live, and live one day at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time.
Living one day at a time.
And trust me, you figure it out. I mean, take an example of yourself. Like, in past 2 years, did you know that by this time you'll be sitting interviewing someone? No.
Even having this YouTube channel, it was scary. Like, I was like, I cannot be on the camera. I cannot speak to people.
I know, right?
I cannot.
You'd be like, what am I going to talk about? Like,
I was actually I was talking to myself yesterday. I was telling myself, if someone told me in last year the same time that I would be having a YouTube channel and recording stories, that would be a lie. I would never believe that.
I'll be an office lady.
Exactly. I would be doing something what I usually do, community work, but not having YouTube and facing camera and telling people blah 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 and hosting people. That has never been me. But
so that was my point. What I believe in, and I want someone out there to believe, is that as long as you are alive, believe, have the hope that you're going to figure out the way whatever life throws at you. If something bad comes, trust me, stand there with hope and see, like, fight it. Like, see, man, if it comes, I have the ability to know how to deal with it.
Exactly.
If I don't know, I can ask for help. Like there are a lot of books, there are a lot of people out there speaking, like sharing stories. Someone can share a story and you relate to it, and you learn from how they dealt with a
the
certain
power of storytelling.
Thank you. Stories are they're actually guidelines. They are like the guidelines. They are stones to step on from one step to another. So if you believe that, if you're hopeful that whatever comes in life you're going to figure it out, then you don't have a reason to worry. You be like, I'm a fighter, I'm a warrior, I've been through a lot and I came out of it stronger. Then whatever comes, I'm going to deal with it.
The same thing that, and it's the same spirit that I always urge my fellow young people to, to have, and especially those who are working in peace building space, because mental health and peace is kind of intertwined. I always say also that peace begins with me, right?
Yeah, peace begins with
me, and it's more of an inner peace. If I'm peaceful with my own self, and then I can, spread that to my community, and then it goes to the entire world. So healing is something that is very important in every aspect.
Sure.
In every aspect. And for her, what I just heard from you, what you're doing is at your own personal level, you question, what is it that I contribute towards healing my community, and now see what you're doing, and you're utilizing the digital space, and that is how you're communicating your messaging.
Sure.
What are some of the sources? How do you get to what are some of the sources of the content you post out there?
Well, most people think I read books, a lot of books. Oh man, I think I'm going to disappoint them. It's a secret. Can you don't tell anyone that I don't read a lot of books, but I've read a lot of books when I was in high school. Okay. But the problem with books is they are books. Sometimes you don't relate to the stories in the book. And sometimes it's not that much relatable. Like maybe if they are African books, which are less, most people like to read books from the Western part, and sometimes they're not relatable. So I wouldn't say I write what I read from books. But I'm also not a fan of movies, so most of the
from
time,
your own experience.
Partly are from my own experience, and some things can give me inspiration. It might be an event, I go there and someone speaks something and speaks to me, and I'm like, I can transform that message to this way, and it can help someone. Also music, like music really inspires me a lot. For me, I decided to choose a certain genre of music to hear, to listen to,
which is,
I like inspiring songs, like songs of Sia, Imagine Dragons, the Rachel who sings Fight Song, or other inspiration music. I sometimes when I don't have inspiration, I can listen to a music and get an idea of what to write about. But also I like to listen to sad songs. Why do I listen to sad songs? I listen to sad songs to get a perspective of what someone who is sad is going through. Like most of these sad songs are emotional, and someone is singing on how they feel in the moment, how sad they feel, and they are so descriptive about it. So when I listen to that song, I'm like, if I was this person, I would love to hear someone saying this to me. And that's what I write. I'm like, if I was going through a hard time and I was having a breakup with my boyfriend, my family was depending on me, and I was blocked, maybe I'd want someone to tell me this, and that's what I tell to myself. And I'm like, if I can tell to myself and it helps me, then it's going to help someone.
Awesome. And that is what I also just wanted to remind our viewers, that let's have a conversation on the comment section. Do you have any quotes or inspirational comments that keeps you going as a person? The world is full of negativity, really.
Sure.
But there are people like her, there are people like some of you who really are in the community just to inspire. doesn't cost a thing really. For her, what it takes is just out of her personal experience or friends' experience, or seeing something, and then she transforms that to a message that can inspire someone. And indeed, she's been receiving some
Positive
feedback. People love you.
They love this.
And one thing about her is the consistency. So daily she posts like twice, in the morning and in the evening.
In the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening.
3 times, right?
3 times.
And that is really something. And for her, do you get tired doing that?
I
No,
don't.
She does.
Sometimes I feel like I'm also going to add some video stuff. Like I post a video once a week, maybe. It's a trend. Like, I think people like to listen what they're seeing than reading. So.
Yeah, that's true. And especially the young generation, they want to see, they want to watch more than to read.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. And I think that is why also the YouTube channel is right here to just give you those real-time documentaries and stories of young people doing amazing things. And Willeen is such a young person doing the same. Please do share your stories also with us when you see this, and do let us know how you felt before and what moves you, what keeps you going, is it?
Yeah. What
do
keeps
let us
you
know
going?
what keeps you going as a person. All over, whichever place you are, whichever country you're from, or you're watching this from, do let us know. Maybe the last thing I would want to know is, now this is your personal initiative and you're doing this. It might cost something, of course, yes, data bundles and a lot of things. What are your future kind of engagements? Like?
I actually have a dream of myself standing before thousands of people, telling the stories of how we have become what we have become. Telling them the struggles, the wins, the small wins, the larger wins, the biggest disappointment and stuff. So I have a very wide dream of like taking it from a social media post, a quote, to something much stronger. But to go there, I said, I don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll get there. So what I do, I take I take the doable action in the meantime. In the meantime, depending on the time I have, the resources I have, I can do quotes, I can make a video, but in time to come, I'm actually planning to have a website where the person can have where I can post all my contents, and interact with people through comments and through stuff, and monetize it maybe for some real money, so that it learns itself. And maybe after website, I'm definitely going to write a book out of maybe the quotes. I can have a correction of them, so that there be something that is kept hard, and I don't know, books last longer and message never dies.
Healing is a very important aspect. Just to repeat and reiterate that again, but it requires one to have sort of a support system where you have friends or relatives or your mother or a therapist. How does that look like on your end? Do you have stable psychosocial support, and how does it look like?
Unfortunately, I don't have a structured, stable. It depends on time, but mostly my friends help me out when sometimes it's a lot and I don't know what to do, and I need someone to talk to. So I have these friends of mine that notice it. Oh, I have a cousin. She's even younger than me, but every time I have a problem, like, I don't know how she knows it. She'll be like, cousin, what's going on? And when we talk, sometimes it helps. And some other times I know I have a problem and I know talking won't resolve it. So some other time I can accept it and be like, it is what it is. I don't have to overthink it. Or play. Also, some gospel really helps. Like sometimes I'm like, if I tell this thing to someone, it's going to be a burden. They're going to feel.
You are also very spiritual, so your spiritual life also helps
me a lot. Like, I'm not that much of a Christian, like a perfect person.
No one is,
but I believe in gospel. I believe what I hear when they sing, when it's a Bible verse. When I read it, it restores me some energy. I believe in it, so believing in it gives it power to heal me or help me in the process. Friends, family, and gospel or songs.
Awesome. So guys, as we come to the end of this conversation, personally I feel like, the world should have more people like Yulin. Like, not even more. Rwanda should have 10 Nowele.
Not 10, like
Then just 10. Kenya should have 3. I mean, all the African countries, we should have somebody who just inspires you in the smallest way. But the impact is really gets to be bigger, and people get to be healed in the long time. What is that one favorite quote you've loved over time and that you can share with all of us? I would love to hear.
What I've been saying is, as long as I'm alive, I'll figure the shit out. I don't care what comes my way.
Yeah.
If I have the breath, if I can breathe, it's a purpose. I will figure. If you want to do something, try it. You are going to run. You're going to feel. You lose nothing by trying. You lose nothing by hoping. If you want to feed yourself some negative, trust me, you're going to find a lot of things to believe. But if you choose to be open-minded and be a believer, it's going to help. And trust me, it happens, because what we think will become. So if you want something, think it in a good way. Believe that it's called. One way or another, you're going to know how to do it. And trust me, there is that power that creates, because everything we see was once an idea, but someone there created it. So we have that power. Believe in it. You're going to figure it out.
Yeah. So we all have the power to believe, right?
Yeah, and create.
So that which you believe in as a person, the next big thing you should do is to create it, because every other big thing started with an idea,
exactly.
Right? So we all have this power to create, to believe, to be better, to heal, to do amazing things, to be happy, to be joyful, to enjoy, those beautiful and momentum, things that we've always wanted as a human being. And that is all we've learned. I've learned from the story that we
And one thing, we say, heal me, heal the world. So we go on that.
So
heal me, heal you, heal the world.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So guys, thank you so much. Ensure you subscribe to this particular channel. Tell them to subscribe and all.
Yeah, you can follow me on the Inspired W, Daily Healing Voice on Instagram and Twitter.
I'll leave her contact details and her social media platforms on the comment section. Meanwhile, guys, share this video, do subscribe, and Ipeace.